A federal appeals court heard arguments Monday on the Trump administration's use of an 18th century wartime law to deport more than 200 Venezuelan men to El Salvador. The court is considering the administration's use of the Aliens Enemies Act to send migrants to El Salvador's mega prison. A lower court judge, James Boasberg, is temporarily blocking the administration from invoking the law. In an interview Sunday, Attorney General Pam Bondi predicted the case won't end here.
The Supreme Court will get involved. This is an out-of-control judge, a federal judge trying to control our entire foreign policy, and he cannot do it.
CBS News Department of Justice reporter Jake Rosen joins us now. Jake, what happened in Monday's hearing?
There were two big points to hit on, Lindsay. The first was that there was a long back and forth over whether these alleged Tren de Aragua members actually had their, an ability to appeal outside of the 5 plaintiffs in this case. The government, as we know and have covered for over a week now, has been reluctant to give any public details. That continued today about these two flights. The Department of Justice attorney who was arguing the case did not give any new information to the 3 appellate court judges in this argument, who asked when were these people actually put on the flights? Were they given any kind of notice that they had the right to an appeal? Because the Trump administration's point of view all along here is that once these alleged Tren de Aragua members were brought to El Salvador, then they could file a suit. And for the people who are still in the United States around the country who are the administration is looking to deport, the government argues that they will have the right to appeal after they're deported. The ACLU has obviously stepped up and basically said, we want to make sure these people are getting due process and are able to file potential habeas petitions to basically see what the charges are against them and have an opportunity to appeal. That really was the crux of today's discussion. There was also a brief sidebar on where exactly the case should have been filed in the first place. The ACLU brought it to Washington, D.C., where very likely, as both sides do in these kinds of cases, they might have found a judge, as they did in this case, who would issue a temporary restraining order. The government argues that because the 5 plaintiffs are actually in Texas, as are most of the people who are being deported of Tren de Aragua and other parts of the government, that the suit needs to be refiled there and basically have a class action habeas lawsuit there, which again would kind of restart this whole process back at square one in a different jurisdiction.
When do we expect to hear from the court?
There was a really emphasis on brevity and speeding things up in this hearing. Everyone is well aware, because of the public pressure on this case, like you just heard from Attorney General Bondi, that there is an expectation this goes to the Supreme Court. The ACLU has said they're planning on appealing this if the appeals court were to side with the Trump administration and strike down this temporary restraining order. And the Trump administration, as we know, has made that clear. I would expect something in the next couple of days, although these circuit court panels can take anywhere up to a week or two to make a firm decision.
Jake, the Trump administration has asked the Supreme Court to weigh in on a separate lawsuit challenging efforts to fire federal workers. What's happening there?
Well, that's right. This case was originally blocked by a judge in Northern California who said that the Trump administration's firing of thousands of probationary workers was illegal. It got appealed to a circuit court out there on the West Coast. That circuit court sided with the started against the Trump administration, And since then, the Trump administration, as again, this is such a crux of the administration. It's something that Pam Bondi has taken issue with. President Trump, Elon Musk, they already filed an emergency petition in front of the Supreme Court today to have them hear this case on an expedited basis. So more to come again on that in the next couple of days, as the Supreme Court has to weigh whether or not to take this or to kick it back to the circuit court.
Jake Rosen, thank you.